In a time not so distant from our own, Earth had transformed into a bustling hub for intergalactic travelers. The spaceport of New Avalon was a vibrant mosaic of civilizations from across the galaxy, each bringing its unique culture, language, and technology. Humans navigated through the throng of aliens, their faces a mix of wonder and confusion as they caught glimpses of strange beings. The air buzzed with chatter in countless tongues, interspersed with the occasional mechanical whir of advanced technologies. Among the crowd was Tom, a human in his late 20s, known for his talent in crafting musical instruments. With tousled brown hair and an easy smile, he maneuvered through the diverse masses with practiced ease. He had grown accustomed to the strange sights and sounds that filled the spaceport, but today felt different. Today, he was searching for something, or someone, that he couldn't quite put his finger on. As Tom rounded a corner near his usual cafe spot, he noticed an alien woman standing alone, her skin shimmering like the surface of a pearl in the sunlight. Her presence was striking, yet she seemed out of place amidst the chaos surrounding her. Tom paused, taken aback by the mixture of awe and fear reflected in her wide, expressive eyes. "Excuse me," he began, stepping to one side as if to allow her passage. "Do you need help?" The alien woman turned her gaze toward him, her voice soft and melodic, carrying an undertone of urgency. "I am seeking refuge," she said, her words laced with desperation. "I need someone to provide me shelter. I can work." Tom's heart sank at the weight of her plea. She was a beautiful creature, with delicate features and an elegance that captivated him, yet her situation was dire. "I don't need a servant," he replied cautiously, not wanting to offend her, but also unsure of what she truly wanted. "Maybe I can help you find a place to stay." She nodded, gratitude washing over her face, and he gestured toward the cafe, a small sanctuary from the chaos of the spaceport. They made their way through the throngs of visitors, Tom stealing glances at her as they walked. He wondered about her origins and the circumstances that had led her to this point. Once seated at a quieter corner of the cafe, Tom introduced himself. "I'm Tom. I make musical instruments, traditional ones from Earth. What's your name?" "I am Mira," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I am from Youth, a world on the brink of collapse due to depleted resources. I escaped, hoping to find a new life here. But everything is so different, so overwhelming." Tom leaned in, intrigued by her story. "What kind of work did you do on Youth?" "I was a weaver," she explained, her eyes lighting up momentarily as she spoke about her craft. "I worked with natural fibers, creating patterns that told stories. I can learn other crafts quickly, I believe." Tom nodded, picturing the vibrant fabrics and intricate designs that must have come from her home. "You know, Mira," he said slowly, "I might not need a servant, but I could use some help in my workshop. I live in a small town by the sea, not too far from here. It's quiet, nothing like this place. Would you be interested?" Her face brightened with a spark of hope. "You would take me in. I can help with your work, learn your crafts. I want to understand this world and contribute to it." Tom smiled, feeling a sense of camaraderie with this determined woman. "Let's give it a trial run, then. You help me in the shop, and I'll help you with everything else. It's not servitude, it's more like an apprenticeship. What do you say?" "Yes," Mira exclaimed, relief flooding her features. "Thank you, Tom." After finishing their drinks, Tom paid the bill and stood, leading Mira out into the streets. He pointed out various landmarks and local spots of interest, trying to ease her into her new surroundings. As they exited the spaceport, a plan began to form in Tom's mind. He felt an unexpected anticipation about the future, curious about the stories Mira's weaves would tell and the art they might create together. Tom's workshop was nestled in a quaint coastal town, a stark contrast to the frenetic energy of the spaceport. The journey took them through winding roads lined with lush greenery, the salty sea air filling their lungs. Mira gazed out the window, absorbing the beauty of Earth, her heart swelling with gratitude for this unexpected chance at a new life. Upon arriving, Tom opened the door to his workshop, revealing a sanctuary filled with earthy scents, wood, varnish, and the faint metallic aroma of tools. It was part workshop, part showroom, with various instruments displayed in the front window. "This is where I work," he announced, pride evident in his voice. "Guitars, violins, and some more exotic stuff. Ever seen a setar up close?" Mira shook her head, her eyes wide as she examined the intricate carvings of a setar resting against the window. "It's beautiful," she murmured, tracing the patterns with her gaze. "So much detail, so much history in its shape." "Come on in, I'll show you around," Tom said, leading her through the door. "This is your main workstation." He gestured to a sturdy workbench, tools neatly arranged. "I'll start by showing you the basics of instrument repair and maintenance. Think of it as our mutual learning space." "I would like to learn all that I can," Mira said earnestly, her gaze lingering on a half-assembled guitar. "Back on youth, weaving was my life. I want to understand your art here." Tom picked up a small flute with a crack running down its side. "Let's start with something simple. This one has a split that needs fixing. I'll show you how to seal it back up." Mira watched intently as he demonstrated the process. Her hands were steady, her eyes focused. Tom handed her the tools, encouraging her to try. After a few moments of concentration, she successfully applied the glue along the crack. "Excellent," he exclaimed, impressed by her precision. "You've got a good hand. I think you'll pick this up in no time." As the day progressed, the conversation meandered from instruments to life stories. Tom shared tales of the town, its festivals, and the quiet winters, while Mira spoke of youth's vast landscapes and the tranquility she missed. "I never imagined I'd end up so far from home," Mira confessed, sipping her tea. "But I'm grateful to be here, learning this." Tom smiled, his expression softening. "I'm glad you're here, Mira. It's been a long time since I've had company in the shop. It's good to share the craft." As the afternoon light waned, they tidied up the workshop. "Let's make it official," Tom said, standing by the door. "An apprenticeship, as I said. We'll work side by side, and I'll teach you everything I know about making and fixing instruments." Mira extended her hand, which Tom shook warmly. "An apprenticeship," she repeated, a smile spreading across her face. "Thank you, Tom. I look forward to our work together." As they locked up the workshop, the cool evening air enveloped them, carrying the scent of the sea. They walked back to Tom's house, discussing plans for the next day. For Mira, each step was a step further into her new life. Each note played in the workshop was a note of her new song on earth. Tom felt an unshakable sense of hope blossoming within him. This partnership could be the beginning of something extraordinary, an adventure that would transcend the boundaries of their worlds and create an unbreakable bond through art, resilience, and discovery. Little did they know that their journey was only just beginning, and the true test of their collaboration lay ahead. The tapestry of new beginnings. As dawn broke over the quaint coastal town, a soft light filtered through the windows of Tom's workshop, illuminating the dust motes that danced in the air. The promise of a new day filled with potential wrapped around Mira like a warm embrace. After weeks of navigating the bustling spaceport of New Avalon, she finally felt grounded in a place that held the whispers of her dreams. Mira woke early, her heart racing with anticipation. She had spent the night in a cozy room adorned with soft fabrics that reminded her of home, and the distant sound of waves crashing against the shore lulled her to sleep. Today marked the start of her apprenticeship with Tom, a chance to immerse herself in the art of crafting instruments. She slipped into her clothes and stood in front of the small mirror on the wall, running her fingers over her reflection. Her skin glimmered softly in the morning light, reminiscent of the pearls of youth. Tom's world was different, striking in its own way, with its own peculiar beauty. Determined to adapt and thrive, she practiced the human expressions she had observed, trying to mirror the warmth and sincerity she felt from Tom. After a quick breakfast of bread and fruit, Mira made her way to the workshop, her heart racing with excitement. The door swung open, revealing Tom already at work, the gentle sound of wood being shaped and smooth filling the air. He looked up, a smile breaking across his face as he saw her. "Good morning, Mira. I've got a project lined up for us today," he said, brushing sawdust off his hands and motioning her to join him. "We'll be repairing a few instruments and then starting something new together. I want you to feel comfortable with all aspects of this craft." As they dove into the day's work, Mira's hands moved with purpose. Tom taught her to sand down edges, fill cracks, and even apply varnish. Each task was a lesson, not just in technique, but in the rhythm of patience and creativity. Hours melted away as they worked side by side, laughter punctuating the air whenever Mira struggled with a task. "Remember," Tom said, holding up a beautiful ukulele with a polished finish, "every instrument carries a story, a piece of the maker's spirit. When you touch it, you should feel that connection." Mira nodded, absorbing his words. "I want to tell stories through my work, just as I did on youth. The weaves I created spoke of the land, the people, and their struggles. Here, I hope to share new stories." "Then let's start with one," Tom replied, his eyes brightening with inspiration. "How about we create a unique instrument that tells the story of your journey?" Her heart swelled with gratitude. "I would love that." They began brainstorming ideas, Tom sharing sketches of different instruments and their sounds. Mira thought deeply, weaving together the memories of her past, the golden fields of youth, the laughter of children playing, the wisdom of her grandmother's hands as she taught her to weave. "How about a hybrid?" Mira suggested, her excitement bubbling over. "A stringed instrument that incorporates elements of both our cultures, something that blends our stories together." Tom's eyes sparkled with enthusiasm. "That's a fantastic idea. We'll use some traditional earth materials and combine them with techniques from your weaving. We can even incorporate some of the patterns you used back home." With newfound energy, they set to work, gathering materials and sketching out designs. Mira introduced Tom to the concept of adding texture and layering to their creation, describing how she once intertwined strands of fiber to create intricate designs. They explored colors and patterns, translating Mira's stories into visual motifs that would adorn the instrument. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue through the workshop, the atmosphere shifted. It was more than just a space filled with tools and instruments. It had become a sanctuary of collaboration, creativity, and friendship. "Can you hear that?" Tom asked suddenly, interrupting her thoughts. He paused, listening intently. The waves crashing, the wind rustling the leaves. It all creates a melody, a rhythm of life. Mira smiled, her heart resonating with the sounds around her. "It's beautiful. Back home, we had festivals filled with music, stories, and dances under the stars. It brought our community together." "Let's create our festival then," Tom suggested playfully. "Once we finish this instrument, we'll invite friends, neighbors, anyone willing to listen. We'll share your story through music." As they both envisioned this festival, an unspoken bond deepened between them, a connection rooted in shared dreams and artistic exploration. The prospect of sharing Mira's story with the world invigorated them both, their creative spirits intertwined like the strands of fabric she had woven on youth. The weeks rolled by, filled with laughter, late nights of tinkering, and heartfelt conversations. The workshop became a sanctuary where they honed their skills, blending their artistic visions. As they spent more time together, they discovered the complexities of each other's cultures, delving into their respective histories. Mira shared tales of her ancestors, of how they had crafted delicate fabrics that held the essence of their land. Tom, in turn, recounted stories of the local musicians who had shaped the town's heritage, each note a testament to resilience and hope. One evening, as the moon cast a silvery glow over the workshop, Mira and Tom sat surrounded by instruments, each a piece of their journey. They had finished crafting their hybrid instrument, a breathtaking creation that combined the elegant curves of Earth's design with intricate woven elements inspired by youth. "It's more than I could have ever imagined," Mira whispered, awe spilling from her lips as she ran her fingers over the instrument's surface. It's beautiful. It's us, Tom replied, his voice warm with pride. This instrument tells our story, two worlds intertwined. Let's make it sing. As they plucked the strings for the first time, the sound that emerged was a harmonious blend of cultures, Earth's traditional melodies woven with the ethereal echoes of youth. It resonated within the walls of the workshop, reverberating through their souls. In that moment, Mira felt a surge of belonging. She was no longer just a refugee seeking refuge. She was an artist, a storyteller, and a vital part of this world. They decided the following week would be their festival, a celebration of their creation and the bond they had forged. They invited friends, neighbors, and anyone willing to listen. The excitement in the air was palpable as they prepared for the event, their hearts racing at the prospect of sharing their music with the world. As the day approached, they decorated the workshop with vibrant fabrics and homemade instruments, transforming it into a lively space filled with color and sound. The invitations spread through the town, word of their festival weaving through the community like a warm breeze, drawing people from all walks of life. On the evening of the festival, the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the town. Laughter and chatter filled the air as guests arrived, their faces glowing with curiosity and joy. Tom and Mira welcomed each person, their hearts swelling with pride. As the night progressed, the energy grew electric. The gathered crowd formed a circle around the workshop, eager to witness the unveiling of a hybrid instrument. Tom took a deep breath, glancing at Mira, who smiled back, her eyes sparkling with excitement. Tonight, we celebrate not just our creation, but the blending of our stories, Tom announced, his voice resonating with enthusiasm. This instrument is a symbol of hope, resilience, and friendship. Let it sing for all of us. As Mira stepped forward, she felt a wave of warmth wash over her. She cradled the instrument gently, her heart racing as she prepared to share her story. The first notes danced into the night, a beautiful tapestry woven from the threads of their lives. The sound wrapped around the audience, pulling them into a realm of magic. With each strum, Mira poured her heart into the music, telling the tale of her homeland, the struggles faced by her people, and the hope that brought her to this new world. Tom joined in, his melodies intertwining with hers, creating a symphony that resonated deep within the souls of those present. As they played, the crowd swayed, entranced by the enchanting sound. The air was filled with laughter, joy, and an understanding that transcended language and culture. In that moment, Mira realized the power of music, the way it could unite, heal, and tell stories that words alone could never capture. When the final note faded into the night, the audience erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the air. Mira and Tom beamed at each other, their hearts full of gratitude. The night was a success, a testament to the beauty of collaboration and the bonds forged through art. As the festival continued, Mira found herself surrounded by people eager to hear more stories, to share in the joy of creation. New friendships blossomed, and with each conversation, she felt more at home in this world. The tapestry of her life was expanding, interweaving new threads of connection and belonging. In the days that followed, the workshop became a hub of creativity, welcoming artists, musicians, and friends who shared in the joy of crafting and storytelling. Together, they celebrated their differences, weaving a rich tapestry of experiences that transcended the boundaries of their individual histories. Mira knew she had found a place to belong, a community that embraced her for who she was and welcomed her stories. Tom became more than a mentor. He was a true friend, guiding her as she navigated this new life. And as the seasons changed, so did Mira, blossoming into the artist she had always longed to be. She learned that every thread she wove, every note she played, was a testament to resilience and the beauty of finding home in unexpected places. With each passing day, she crafted not only instruments, but also a life filled with love, laughter, and connection, a life where her past and present coexisted harmoniously, creating a melody that would resonate for years to come. The echoes of transformation. As the days turned into weeks, the coastal town began to feel like a new home for Mira. The sun cast long shadows over the workshop as she embraced her life with Tom, each day a canvas upon which they painted their dreams. Their friendship blossomed amidst the sounds of saws, the rich aroma of wood shavings, and the hum of creativity that flowed through the air. One chilly morning, as Mira entered the workshop, a sense of anticipation tingled in the air. Tom was waiting, a twinkle in his eye. "I have something special planned for us today," he said, revealing a beautifully wrapped parcel. "Open it." With trembling hands, Mira unwrapped the parcel to reveal a set of finely crafted tools, chisels, files, and a small mallet. They glimmered in the morning light, their sharp edges gleaming with promise. "These will help you refine your skills even further," Tom said, pride evident in his voice. "You've come so far, and I believe it's time for you to begin creating your own instruments. We'll work on them together, and I want you to lead the way." Tears welled in Mira's eyes, her heart swelling with gratitude. "Thank you, Tom. I never imagined I would have my own tools to craft my stories." As they settled into the rhythm of the day, the workshop became a sanctuary of inspiration. Mira poured her soul into her work, creating unique instruments that reflected her heritage and her journey. Each strum of the strings felt like a step closer to healing the wounds of her past. Yet, the echoes of her former life haunted her at times. She thought often of her family back on Yith, of the warmth of her grandmother's voice as she shared stories of courage and resilience. Mira longed to weave those tales into her instruments, to honor her roots and the people she left behind. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, Mira approached Tom with a suggestion. "What if we host a gathering not just to celebrate our music, but also to share stories from our cultures? It could be a way to honor our histories and connect more deeply with our community." Tom's face lit up. "That's a brilliant idea. We can invite everyone to share their stories and even perform with their own instruments. It will be a night of cultural exchange." Excited by the prospect, they set to work organizing the event. Flyers were crafted, invitations sent, and the buzz of anticipation rippled through the town. As the night approached, the workshop transformed into a vibrant tapestry of cultures, adorned with decorations that reflected both Mira's Yith heritage and Tom's Earth roots. When the night of the gathering finally arrived, the atmosphere was electric. Friends, neighbors, and new faces filled the workshop, their laughter mingling with the sound of music that spilled into the night. Mira wore a vibrant outfit, a blend of traditional Yith fabrics that she had painstakingly woven into a flowing dress. It represented her past while embracing her present, a true reflection of her journey. As the evening unfolded, people took turns sharing their stories, each voice a thread in the rich tapestry of humanity. Some spoke of their struggles, others of triumphs, while a few sang songs, passed down through generations. Mira sat captivated, her heart swelling with pride as she listened to the tales of resilience, community, and love. When it was her turn, she took a deep breath, clutching her instrument, a handcrafted piece that echoed the spirit of Yith. As she began to play, she felt the warmth of her ancestors surrounding her, their voices joining hers in a beautiful harmony. The music flowed effortlessly, telling the story of her journey, the pain of leaving home, and the hope she had found in this new world. As she played, the room fell silent, each person captivated by the music that spoke to their souls. Mira felt liberated, her heart unburdened as she shared her truth with the world. When the final note faded, a profound stillness enveloped the workshop before a wave of applause erupted, echoing through the night. "You have a gift, Mira," someone shouted from the crowd. "Your music is a bridge between worlds." The warmth of connection filled the space, and Mira felt a sense of belonging she had longed for. In that moment, she realized she was not just a refugee. She was a bridge between cultures, a storyteller who could transcend borders through music. Encouraged by the response, Tom stepped up next, sharing a story from his childhood. a tale of adventure and discovery that resonated with everyone in the room. His voice filled with emotion, painting vivid pictures of the world he had grown up in. The crowd hung on every word, laughing and sighing as he took them on a journey through his memories. As the evening continued, the lines between their stories began to blur, and they found common ground in their shared experiences of loss, hope, and resilience. People from different backgrounds laughed together, danced together, and celebrated the beauty of their differences. Later in the night, as the last song echoed into the darkness, Mira found herself outside the workshop, gazing up at the stars that twinkled like diamonds scattered across the velvet sky. The air was filled with laughter and music, a sweet reminder of the connections they had forged. Suddenly, she heard footsteps behind her. It was Tom, a content smile on his face. What a night! I never expected it to be so magical. Mira nodded, her heart full. It was more than I could have imagined. I feel like I'm finally home. Tom leaned against the wall, looking up at the stars with her. You've created a beautiful community here, Mira. You've shown them the strength of your spirit, and they've embraced you. You've transformed not just yourself, but also this town. His words wrapped around her like a warm blanket, and for the first time, she felt truly seen. The weight of her past began to lift, replaced by the knowledge that she had created a space where her story could flourish. But even as joy filled her heart, there lingered a sense of longing. She knew her journey wasn't over. She still had family on Youth who needed her, and she couldn't ignore the ache of missing them. In the weeks that followed, as the workshop buzzed with creativity and collaboration, Mira began to find ways to bridge her two worlds. She started crafting instruments that incorporated elements from both Youth and Earth, weaving stories into every note. One day, while working on a new piece, she had an idea that sparked excitement within her. What if she could create a musical exchange program, inviting musicians from Youth to come to Earth and share their stories and traditions? With Tom's encouragement, Mira began reaching out to musicians on Youth, sharing her vision of cultural exchange through music. She wanted to show her community the beauty of her homeland, while also bringing a piece of Youth to Earth. Weeks turned into months as she tirelessly organized the logistics, seeking funding and support for her initiative. The townspeople rallied behind her, inspired by her passion and determination. They hosted fundraising events, donated instruments, and helped spread the word about the project. Finally, the day arrived when Mira could bring musicians from Youth to Earth. She had arranged for a group of talented artists to join her for a week-long festival celebrating the blending of their cultures. When the musicians arrived, Mira felt a rush of emotions. Her heart raced with excitement, but it was tempered by the anxiety of introducing them to her new community. The festival kicked off with a vibrant parade through the town, showcasing the rich colors and sounds of both cultures. The streets were alive with music and laughter, drawing people from all corners of the community. As the musicians performed, Mira felt a sense of belonging deepen. She saw her worlds colliding beautifully, each note telling a story that transcended borders. The Youth musicians shared their rich heritage through songs that spoke of love, loss, and hope, while the Earth musicians added their own flair, blending genres and creating something entirely new. As the days unfolded, the festival blossomed into a celebration of unity. People from both communities mingled, shared meals, and danced together, forging friendships that transcended their differences. On the final night of the festival, under a canopy of stars, Mira took the stage once more, her heart swelling with pride. She had come full circle, standing at the intersection of her past and present, ready to share the most personal piece of her journey yet. With her handcrafted instrument in hand, she began to play, weaving together the melodies of Youth with the rhythms of Earth. As she played, she felt the spirits of her ancestors surrounding her, their stories echoing through her music. The crowd fell silent, captivated by the beauty that unfolded before them. When she finished, a powerful silence enveloped the audience before they erupted into applause, their cheers echoing through the night. Mira beamed, tears streaming down her face, overwhelmed by the love and acceptance that surrounded her. In that moment, she understood that her journey was not just about finding a home. It was about building bridges between cultures, creating spaces for stories to intertwine, and celebrating the beauty of shared experiences. As the festival came to a close, Mira felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had woven her past into her present, creating a future filled with hope, love, and connection. She was no longer just an artist. She was a storyteller, a bridge, and a vital part of a community that embraced her for who she was. With the stars shining brightly overhead, Mira knew she had found her place in the world, a place where her heart could sing freely and her spirit could soar, intertwining the echoes of two cultures into a beautiful harmony that would resonate for generations to come. A tapestry of futures. As Mira settled into her new reality, the vibrancy of the festival still lingered in the air, creating a buzz of excitement that seemed to weave through every interaction in the town. The success of the festival was not just a culmination of her efforts, it had birthed a community spirit that transcended mere coexistence. There was a sense of kinship now, a shared understanding that had been crafted through stories, music, and cultural exchange. In the weeks following the festival, the workshop buzzed with new energy. Mira and Tom found themselves with more orders for their handcrafted instruments than they could have imagined. People were excited to have a piece of their cultural tapestry in their homes, and Mira's unique blend of youth and earth aesthetics was particularly sought after. One day, while working on a new design, Mira received an unexpected message from one of the youth musicians who had participated in the festival. His name was Karan, and he had been inspired by the connection he felt with the earth musicians. "We should continue this exchange," he wrote. "Let's create a collaborative album that captures the essence of our stories, merging our sounds into something beautiful and transformative." Mira's heart raced at the idea. An album could be a way to immortalize their shared experiences, a physical representation of their cultural journey. Excitedly, she shared the proposal with Tom, who immediately recognized its potential. "This could take your work to a whole new level. Imagine the stories you could tell through music, reaching people far beyond this town." With renewed energy, Mira set to work. She organized meetings between the musicians from Youth and Earth, creating a collaborative environment where ideas flowed as freely as the melodies they crafted. They rented a local studio, and soon the sound of instruments resonated throughout the town, creating an atmosphere of creativity and collaboration. Each session was filled with laughter, learning, and a deep exchange of ideas. Kiran taught the Earth musicians about traditional youth instruments, while they, in turn, introduced him to various styles of music that thrived on Earth. They experimented with fusions, blending the rhythmic beats of youth folk songs with the melodies of contemporary Earth genres. As the project progressed, it became clear that the music was not just about sound. It was a reflection of their shared humanity. Each note told a story of struggle and triumph, of longing and belonging, allowing the musicians to process their experiences in real time. Amidst the hustle and creativity, Mira found herself feeling more connected than ever to her heritage. She began to share her personal stories, allowing her emotions to flow through her music. With every practice session, the pieces began to take shape, powerful songs that spoke of hope, resilience, and the beauty of unity. But as the excitement built, so did the challenges. The blending of two distinct cultures was not always seamless. There were moments of tension when misunderstandings arose, cultural nuances were lost, and the weight of expectations felt heavy. One afternoon, a heated discussion erupted over the direction of a particular song. "I feel like we're losing the essence of youth music," Kiran expressed, his brow furrowed in frustration. "We need to stay true to our roots." "True, but we also need to connect with this audience," countered Sarah, a talented Earth musician. "If we only play traditional youth music, we might miss out on an opportunity to reach more people." Mira, feeling the tension, took a deep breath. She recognized a validity in both perspectives. What if we create two versions of the song? one that honors the traditional style and another that integrates elements of both cultures. This way, we can preserve the integrity of youth music while also making it accessible to a wider audience. Her suggestion hung in the air, and slowly the room began to relax. The musicians nodded, seeing the merit in her idea. The conversation shifted, and they worked together to create a dual version of the song, a perfect blend of their talents and backgrounds. In the following weeks, their efforts culminated in an album that not only showcased their musical abilities, but also reflected the essence of their cultural exchange. Each track became a testament to their journey, stories interwoven with melodies that transcended boundaries. As the album release approached, Mira felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. This project was not just a collection of songs, it was a manifestation of her journey, a representation of her dreams, and the relationships she had cultivated in this new world. She wanted to ensure that it honored the voices of everyone involved. To celebrate the album's release, they organized a concert, inviting the community to experience the music firsthand. The day of the concert was a celebration of cultures, showcasing not only their new album, but also traditional dances and stories from both youth and earth. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the outdoor venue, the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. The stage was adorned with vibrant fabrics, a blend of youth patterns and earth designs, creating a visual representation of their collaboration. When Mira took the stage, she looked out at the crowd, the friends, family, and community members who had supported her journey. It was a moment of reflection, a culmination of her efforts, struggles, and triumphs. "Thank you all for being here tonight," she began, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "This album represents not just the music we've created, but the stories we shared and the bonds we formed. It's a celebration of our differences and the beauty of coming together." As the first notes of their opening song filled the air, Mira felt an electric energy surge through her. Each musician played with passion, pouring their hearts into the performance. The sound resonated through the crowd, uniting everyone in a shared experience of joy and connection. Throughout the night, they alternated between songs from the album and traditional performances, inviting audience participation. Mira watched as people danced, laughed, and shared stories, creating a tapestry of cultures woven together in real time. The concert was a resounding success, and as the final notes faded, the audience erupted in applause, cheering for the musicians who had opened their hearts and shared their stories. It was a celebration of humanity, a moment where barriers melted away and unity prevailed. But as the excitement of the evening began to settle, Mira felt a familiar tug at her heart, a longing for her family back on youth. She had been so focused on building her new life that she hadn't communicated with them in weeks. The thought of her grandmother, the stories she had yet to share, and the cultural heritage she carried weighed heavily on her mind. That night, after the concert, she sat down with her instrument, letting her emotions flow through her fingers. As she played, she felt the weight of her yearning turn into music, a beautiful melody that expressed her love for her family and the deep-rooted connection she still had with youth. The next morning, she decided to reach out to her family. Sitting at her desk, she poured her heart into a letter, detailing her journey, the people she had met, and the music she had created. She included snippets of the new songs, hoping to bridge the gap between her two worlds. Days turned into weeks as she waited for a response, each passing moment filled with anticipation and uncertainty. She worried about how they would perceive her new life, whether they would embrace her journey or feel abandoned by her absence. Finally, a letter arrived. As she tore open the envelope, her heart raced. Inside, she found a letter from her grandmother, filled with warmth and love. "My dearest Mira," it began, "I am so proud of you. Your strength and creativity shine through every word you've written. We have missed you dearly, but I am overjoyed to hear about your journey and the beautiful music you're creating. The people of Vieth are excited to hear your stories, and they look forward to the day you return to share them with us." Tears streamed down Mira's face as she read her grandmother's words. It was a validation of her choices, a reminder that she was still deeply rooted in her family's love and support. They understood her desire to grow and evolve, to share her gifts with the world, and they wanted to be a part of her journey. Inspired by her grandmother's letter, Mira made a plan to return to youth for a visit. She wanted to reconnect with her family, share her experiences, and introduce them to her new friends and their music. It was time to bridge the gap between her two worlds. In preparation for her trip, Mira collaborated with Quran and other youth musicians to create a performance that showcased their cultural exchange. They planned to perform a concert back on Yith, featuring songs from their album and traditional pieces that reflected their shared heritage. When the day of her departure arrived, Mira felt a whirlwind of emotions. Excitement mingled with nervousness as she boarded the flight back to Yith, her heart pounding in rhythm with the anticipation of reuniting with her family. As the plane soared through the clouds, Mira took a moment to reflect on her journey. She had traveled so far, not just physically but emotionally and spiritually. She had forged a new identity that embraced both her heritage and her newfound home, weaving them together in a way that felt authentic and true. When she finally landed, the familiar sights and sounds of youth enveloped her like a warm embrace. She could almost hear her grandmother's laughter as she walked through the bustling streets, her heart swelling with nostalgia. Reuniting with her family was everything she had dreamed it would be. Her grandmother enveloped her in a tight embrace, and the air was filled with love, warmth, and the sweet aroma of traditional dishes that had been prepared in her honor. As the days unfolded, Mira shared her experiences, the struggles she had faced, and the music that had emerged from her journey. She introduced her family to Quran and the other musicians, creating a space where stories flowed freely and laughter filled the air. The concert on Yith was a night to remember. As they performed, Mira felt a deep sense of belonging, a powerful reminder that her roots were still intertwined with the music and culture of her family. The audience was captivated, experiencing the beauty of the collaboration firsthand. In that moment, as the melodies wove through the night sky, Mira realized that her journey was just beginning. She had embraced the challenges of crossing cultures, but now she had a clear vision of how to merge her worlds further. With her family and friends by her side, she set out to create a legacy, one that honored her heritage while embracing the richness of new experiences. The music, she realized, was not just a form of expression. It was a bridge connecting hearts, transcending borders, and uniting people from all walks of life. As the final notes of the concert faded into the night, Mira felt a profound sense of peace wash over her. She was home, yet she was also a part of something greater, a beautiful tapestry of cultures, stories, and shared humanity that would continue to evolve for generations to come. Echoes of change. The concert on Yith had been a resounding success, but as Mira returned to her new home on Earth, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. The music had resonated deeply with both her family and the audience, igniting a passion within her to explore new avenues for cultural exchange and collaboration. The journey back felt like a fresh canvas waiting to be painted with new ideas and initiatives. Upon her return, Mira found herself brimming with inspiration. The experience of sharing her culture on Yith and connecting with her family in a profound way had shifted her perspective. She understood now that her music had the power to create ripples far beyond the confines of her workshop. She envisioned a series of collaborative workshops, spaces where people could come together to share their stories, learn about each other's cultures, and create music that blended their influences. With this vision in mind, Mira reached out to local community centers and schools, eager to establish partnerships for her workshops. The idea was simple yet powerful: to bring people together from diverse backgrounds, encouraging them to share their musical traditions and stories, fostering a sense of community and understanding through art. As she pitched her concept, Mira was met with a mix of enthusiasm and skepticism. Some believed in the importance of cultural exchange and collaboration, while others were hesitant, worried that blending cultures might dilute the essence of their individual identities. "We need to honor our roots," one community leader voiced during a meeting, "but I understand the desire to connect." Mira listened intently, understanding the weight of these concerns. She proposed a format that respected both the distinctiveness of each culture and the beauty of collaboration. What if we focused on individual stories and traditions, allowing each participant to share their music while exploring how they can connect with others? She suggested. It's about building bridges, not walls. After several meetings, she secured a partnership with a local community center known for its commitment to cultural diversity. They agreed to host her first series of workshops, titled Melodies of Unity. Excitement coursed through her as she envisioned the space filled with diverse voices, laughter, and shared stories. The day of the first workshop arrived, and Mira stood in front of a small gathering of participants from various backgrounds. The atmosphere was a blend of nervous anticipation and eagerness. She welcomed everyone warmly, encouraging them to introduce themselves and share their musical backgrounds. The responses were varied. A woman from a Latino background spoke of her family's love for mariachi music, while a young man shared stories of playing the djembe and his connections to African rhythms. As they settled into the first exercise, Mira asked everyone to close their eyes and take a moment to reflect on a memory tied to music. Think of a song that evokes a strong emotion for you, she said gently. Now let that feeling guide you as we create our own melodies together. With instruments spread across the room, guitars, drums, and even traditional Eth flutes, the participants began to play, each bringing their unique rhythms and styles into the mix. Mira guided them through the process, encouraging them to listen deeply and respond to one another. The room was alive with sound, a beautiful cacophony that echoed the rich tapestry of their experiences. As the days turned into weeks, the workshops flourished. Each session saw more participants eager to share their stories, create music, and connect with others. Mira noticed that as the musicians collaborated, their hesitance began to dissolve. They learned to embrace the differences in their styles, crafting new songs that merged traditional elements with contemporary influences. During one workshop, a participant named Jamal shared his experience growing up in a multicultural neighborhood. Music was our way of connecting, even when words failed us, he said, strumming his guitar. It was about finding common ground, celebrating our differences. His story resonated with everyone, reinforcing the purpose of their gathering. Encouraged by the positive feedback, Mira decided to take the workshops a step further. She began to organize performances showcasing the music they had created together, inviting the community to witness the power of their collaboration. The first concert, aptly named Harmony in Diversity, was held in the community center's courtyard, adorned with colorful decorations that reflected the cultures represented. On the day of the concert, the air buzzed with excitement. People from the community poured in, eager to experience the music and stories that had emerged from the workshops. As Mira took the stage, she felt a mixture of nerves and exhilaration. Welcome, everyone. Tonight, you will hear the voices of our community, a beautiful blend of cultures and traditions that remind us of our shared humanity. One by one, the performers took the stage, each bringing their own flair and passion. Jamal played his guitar alongside a talented violinist named Sophia, whose classical training infused a unique sound into their collaborative piece. The audience clapped and cheered, their joy palpable as they embraced the musical journey unfolding before them. As the concert progressed, the musicians shared anecdotes about the songs, revealing the stories behind their creation. The sense of connection was profound. The audience wasn't merely spectators, but active participants in this celebration of unity. Laughter and applause filled the air, echoing the warmth and camaraderie that had blossomed throughout the workshops. At the concert's peak, Mira invited Karan to join her on stage via video call. The crowd erupted in applause as his face appeared on the screen. "Hello, everyone. I'm so proud of what you've accomplished," he said, beaming with pride. "Music has the power to transcend borders, and what you've created here is a testament to that. I can't wait to come and perform with you all." The concert concluded with a collaborative piece that encapsulated the essence of their journey, a medley of melodies that intertwined their stories, cultures, and dreams. As the final notes resonated in the air, Mira felt a surge of gratitude for the community that had embraced her vision and for the friendships that had flourished. The success of the concert marked a turning point for Mira. Inspired by the impact of the workshops, she began to think bigger. What if she could create a platform for artists from diverse backgrounds to collaborate and share their work on a larger scale? She envisioned a festival, one that celebrated cultural diversity through music, art, and storytelling, drawing participants from around the globe. Mira began researching how to bring this festival to life. She reached out to local government and cultural organizations for support, presenting her vision of an annual event that would foster connection and understanding through the arts. This festival could become a beacon of unity, she argued passionately. A place where we can celebrate our differences while finding common ground. After months of planning, she secured a partnership with the local arts council, and they began organizing the first Global Harmony Festival. The excitement was palpable as they brainstormed ideas for performances, workshops, and interactive exhibits that would engage attendees. As the festival date approached, Mira found herself immersed in a whirlwind of activity. She coordinated with artists from Youth, Earth, and beyond, ensuring that each group felt represented and respected. They planned workshops where attendees could learn about different musical traditions, participate in collaborative songwriting sessions, and engage in discussions about cultural exchange. On the day of the festival, the atmosphere was electric. The park was transformed into a vibrant celebration, filled with colorful tents showcasing art, crafts, and cuisines from various cultures. People of all ages gathered, their laughter mingling with the sounds of live music echoing throughout the area. As the festival unfolded, Mira marveled at the beauty of the event. Musicians from Youth collaborated with Earth artists on stage, their sounds blending seamlessly as they celebrated their shared humanity. The workshops thrived, with participants eager to learn about different instruments and styles, sharing their own stories and traditions. One workshop particularly stood out, a storytelling circle where attendees shared personal narratives about their cultural backgrounds and experiences. It was a powerful moment, as participants listened intently to one another, fostering empathy and understanding. The stories ranged from tales of hardship and resilience to celebrations of love and community. As the sun began to set, the festival culminated in a grand finale concert. Mira took the stage, her heart swelling with pride as she looked out at the diverse audience before her. Tonight, we celebrate not just our differences, but the beautiful tapestry of our shared experiences, she said, her voice resonating with emotion. Let's create a world where our stories intertwine, where we find strength in our unity. With that, the performers joined her on stage, and the music soared into the night, echoing the essence of their journey, a celebration of cultural exchange, understanding, and love. As the final notes faded and the audience erupted in applause, Mira felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had not only fostered connections between her two worlds, but had also created a movement, a ripple effect of change that celebrated the beauty of diversity. In the days that followed, the festival continued to echo through the community. News of its success spread, attracting attention from media outlets and artists alike. People began to reach out, eager to participate in future workshops and events, inspired by the notion that music could transcend borders and unite hearts. Mira realized that her journey was far from over. She had become a catalyst for change, igniting a passion for cultural exchange in others. The workshops and festivals she had envisioned were just the beginning. She dreamed of expanding her reach, creating platforms for voices that often went unheard, and ensuring that the tapestry of humanity was woven with authenticity and love. Reflecting on her journey, Mira understood that she had found her purpose. The melodies of unity she had strived to create were no longer just about her experiences. They had evolved into a collective movement, a call to embrace diversity, share stories, and celebrate the rich mosaic of cultures that defined humanity. With a heart full of hope and determination, Mira set out to continue her mission, knowing that every note, every story, and every connection would contribute to a world where music became a bridge that could unite us all, one melody at a time. A symphony of connections. As the success of the Global Harmony Festival echoed through the community, Mira found herself in the throes of a new adventure. The workshops had not only cultivated connections among participants, but had also sparked a broader dialogue about the role of art in fostering social change. Inspired by this energy, she began to envision a collaborative project that could take her mission even further. Voices Unheard. The idea was simple yet profound: to create a multimedia art installation that highlighted the stories of marginalized voices from different cultures, showcasing their experiences through music, visual art, and personal narratives. Mira believed that amplifying these stories would not only foster understanding, but also encourage dialogue about the systemic issues facing various communities. Excited by this new vision, Mira reached out to artists, musicians, and storytellers from diverse backgrounds, inviting them to contribute their perspectives to the project. She organized a series of brainstorming sessions at the community center, where participants could share their ideas and collaborate on the format and themes of the installation. During one of these sessions, a young artist named Amina spoke passionately about her experiences as a Muslim woman navigating cultural expectations. "Art has always been my outlet," she shared, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "I want to create a piece that reflects the duality of my identity, celebrating my heritage while challenging stereotypes." Mira was inspired by Amina's words. "What if we created an interactive mural that allows visitors to engage with your story?" she proposed. They could add their own experiences, creating a living artwork that evolves over time. The group responded with excitement, and soon they began to brainstorm additional elements for the installation. Musicians suggested incorporating live performances that would weave together personal stories with music, creating a rich tapestry of sound and emotion. Poets shared their desire to contribute spoken-word pieces that could be integrated into the installation, giving voice to the silent struggles and triumphs of their communities. As the planning progressed, Mira was struck by the power of collaboration. Each person brought unique perspectives and talents, and the synergy among them fueled creativity and inspiration. The project began to take shape, and they decided to host a series of workshops leading up to the installation's unveiling, where community members could participate and contribute their stories. The workshops served as a platform for sharing experiences and fostering connections. One particularly poignant session was led by a local elder named Mr. Kapoor, who shared his journey as an immigrant. "When I first arrived, I felt lost," he recounted. "Music was my refuge. It helped me navigate my new life and connect with others." His story resonated deeply with the participants, igniting discussions about the challenges faced by immigrants and the importance of preserving cultural heritage. As the weeks rolled by, anticipation grew within the community. The Voices Unheard installation was set to debut at the upcoming Cultural Awareness Month, a citywide event that celebrated diversity through art, music, and food. Mira worked tirelessly alongside her collaborators, ensuring that every detail was perfect. They transformed the community center into a vibrant space filled with colorful artwork, musical instruments, and poetry installations. On the day of the unveiling, the atmosphere was electric. The community center buzzed with excitement as people gathered to witness the culmination of their collective efforts. Mira stood at the entrance, greeting guests and feeling a swell of pride as they entered the space. The walls were adorned with the interactive mural, vibrant and alive, inviting visitors to engage with it. As the event began, Mira took the stage, her heart racing. "Welcome, everyone. Today, we celebrate the stories that often go unheard, the voices that deserve to be amplified. This installation is a testament to the power of art in fostering connection and understanding." With that, the first performance began. A talented group of musicians took the stage, blending traditional and contemporary sounds. Their music resonated throughout the space, weaving together the diverse threads of their experiences. The audience swayed to the rhythm, fully immersed in the moment. As guests wandered through the installation, they were invited to interact with the mural, adding their own stories and reflections to the artwork. Some shared joyful memories, while others expressed their struggles and hopes for the future. The mural grew richer with each contribution, becoming a living testament to the community's collective voice. One young participant named Ravi approached Mira, holding a small notepad filled with his own thoughts. "Can I add my story?" he asked, his eyes wide with excitement. "I want to tell people about my experience moving to a new school and feeling different." Mira smiled warmly, encouraging him to share. "Absolutely. Your story matters." As the night progressed, the audience engaged with the installation, sharing laughter and tears as they connected over their experiences. It became evident that the project was more than just an art installation. It was a space for healing and understanding. Throughout the evening, the poets took to the stage, sharing powerful spoken-word pieces that echoed the themes of resilience, identity, and unity. Amina recited her poem about her journey of self-acceptance, weaving in the struggles and triumphs of being a woman of color. The audience listened intently, nodding in recognition as her words resonated with their own experiences. "Art is a reflection of who we are," Amina concluded, her voice filled with emotion. "It is a reminder that we are not alone in our struggles, that we can find strength in our shared stories." The final performance of the night featured a collaboration between various musicians, blending their distinct styles into a harmonious piece that encapsulated the spirit of the installation. As they played, the audience joined in, singing and clapping along, creating a powerful sense of community. As the night came to a close, Mira stood back and observed the scene. The installation had sparked conversations, fostered connections, and celebrated the beauty of diversity. People were exchanging phone numbers, making plans to continue the dialogue initiated by their shared experiences. After the event, Mira received an influx of messages from attendees expressing their gratitude. Many shared how the installation had resonated with them, how they felt seen and heard for the first time. It was a powerful reminder of the impact of art in bridging gaps and fostering understanding. Buoyed by the success of Voices Unheard, Mira decided to take the project beyond the community center. She envisioned traveling to schools and community events, facilitating discussions about culture, identity, and the importance of representation in the arts. She believed that the younger generation deserved to see their stories reflected in art and music. As she reached out to local schools, Mira found that many educators were eager to collaborate. They recognized the importance of fostering empathy and understanding in their students and saw the installation as an opportunity to engage young minds in meaningful dialogue. With each new collaboration, Mira's network grew, expanding the reach of her vision. The Voices Unheard project evolved into a traveling exhibit, featuring stories from various communities across the region. She worked with educators to create lesson plans that accompany the installation, encouraging students to explore their own identities and express their stories through art. One of the most rewarding aspects of this journey was witnessing the impact of the project on young participants. In one particular school, a shy girl named Layla approached Mira after a workshop. "I've always been scared to share my story," she confessed, her voice trembling. "But after listening to everyone, I feel like I want to try." Mira smiled warmly, encouraging her to take her time. "Your story is important, Layla. It deserves to be heard." Inspired by the supportive environment, Layla eventually took the stage at a school assembly, sharing her experiences with her classmates. The standing ovation that followed was a testament to the power of vulnerability and connection. As the project gained momentum, Mira's efforts caught the attention of local media outlets. They featured her work in articles and interviews, highlighting the importance of amplifying marginalized voices through art. Mira became a sought-after speaker at conferences and events, sharing her experiences and advocating for the role of art in social change. During one such event, she met a filmmaker named Samara, who expressed interest in documenting the journey of the Voices Unheard project. "I believe your story can inspire others," Samara said passionately. Imagine showcasing the impact of your work on a larger scale, reaching communities far beyond our own. Excited by the possibility, Mira agreed to collaborate with Samara. Together, they began documenting the stories and experiences of participants involved in the project, capturing the essence of connection and unity that had blossomed within the community. As they traveled to different schools and events, Mira felt a renewed sense of purpose. The project had become a movement, one that transcended boundaries and fostered understanding through shared narratives. It wasn't just about creating art. It was about creating a safe space for individuals to embrace their identities, connect with others, and find strength in their stories. The documentary, titled Voices Unheard, A Journey of Connection, premiered at a local film festival, receiving accolades for its poignant portrayal of cultural diversity and the power of art. Viewers were moved by the stories shared, resonating with the emotions expressed by the participants. As the film gained recognition, Mira's mission began to expand even further. She received invitations to speak at national conferences, where she shared her insights on the importance of representation in the arts and the role of community engagement in fostering social change. One day, while preparing for a speaking engagement at a prominent arts conference, Mira reflected on how far she had come. She thought about her journey, from feeling disconnected between two worlds to creating a vibrant community that celebrated diversity through art. She realized that her work had not only transformed her life, but had also touched the lives of countless others. As she took the stage to address the audience, Mira felt a surge of gratitude. Art is a powerful tool for connection, she began, her voice steady and passionate. It allows us to share our stories, to empathize with one another, and to bridge the gaps that divide us. Together, we can create a world where every voice is heard, every story matters, and every individual is celebrated. With each event, workshop, and installation, Mira continued to foster connections that transcended boundaries, nurturing a sense of belonging and understanding within her community. Her journey was far from over. It was just the beginning of a larger movement that sought to redefine the narrative around art, culture, and identity. With renewed determination, Mira stepped into the future, ready to face the challenges ahead, inspired by the belief that music and art could indeed unite us all, one story, one melody at a time.